Do you look different in your mind than you do in real life?
Absolutely.
You sneak a glance at the mirror. Are you surprised when it's looking back at you? Like, oh, that's not what I thought I looked like.
I wouldn't say the mirror, I would say pictures. Whenever I see a picture of myself, I'm like, that's not what I see. But clearly that's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Whenever I see a picture of myself, I'm like, how did I ever get married? Like, why does anyone talk to me? Like, I feel like whenever I see a picture of myself that I look like the biggest doofus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I just think I look like an average dude, whatever. But I have no idea how people talk to me, how I have friends, how the other sex may have been attracted once in a while.
Okay, that's pretty much all. That was my question to you, and you kind of just answered it succinctly, and then I had nothing to say. Usually, you ramble on for 20 minutes.
I mean, positive body images are important to me because I struggle with body image issues my entire life. So, got to be positive about it. You know, if you're happy, then good. If you're not happy, you know, there's things that you can do about it. But you know, looking in the mirror, none of us, I think, look in the mirror unless you're completely narcissistic, which there are some of them out there, I'm sure. But I don't think anyone looks in the mirror and goes, "Man, I'm looking great."
I try not to look at myself. I don't like to have my picture taken. I try not to really be confronted with reality as much as I possibly can.
Well, it all kind of sucks, so it's probably a good thing.
It's definitely weird getting older. Like, I don't feel like, I feel like getting older, I don't recognize my own body. Like, I'll go, especially like playing sports or running around after my kids, I'll do something and I'll be like, this isn't working the way it used to. I feel like a stranger in my own body as I get older.
Well, I mean, my calf still feels like a jelly bean rolling around in a glass of water, so that's going to be fantastic.
Oh, that's fast. 3 minutes into the show, John has brought up his calf. For people who are new, we always try to keep a time of when John will bring up his calf injury, the weather, or his basement. I think you made it. Don't want to talk about your basement. I think we made it 17 minutes. I think we made it 17 minutes before you talked about your basement last episode.
I just put up a dartboard.
Oh yeah, I do like darts. I'm really starting to enjoy like slightly active drunken games. Darts, skee ball, I love it.
Yeah, when my wife got it, I'm like, nobody plays darts, and then I found that tons of people like darts. So
everybody likes darts. It's like, I'm not gonna not play darts. I'm not gonna not play ping pong or shuffleboard.
I think I lived my 20s the wrong way. Because I had one goal every night I went out, and that was to get hammered and do stupid things. I wish I could go back, get hammered, but like play darts or play pool or like do something that was somewhat functional other than just sitting or dancing and drinking.
I mean, dancing's fun. Like, but you got to get appropriately leveled hammered so you can go out there.
Oh yeah,
truly, truly dance.
Shout out to Jim Kavanaugh.
Yeah, Jim Kavanaugh.
Legend there, man. Legend.
Man, yeah.
So anyways, if you ever come to Detroit, which you should, because the weather is fantastic.
Oh my God, no, it's not.
So I did there. We should play some darts.
I would love to play darts. I think it's fantastic. What kind of dartboard did you get though? Did you get the fake plastic darts or did you go for the real thing?
No, we got a full-on cork dartboard with the real thing.
Oh wow, good for you. I'm proud of that.
It wasn't me though. I can't take any credit for this. My wife even got a laser foul line. So.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
that's
all about it.
That's a little too much, right? Like my wife is like that. I swear to God, if something costs $10, she'll find a way to make it 15. Oh, it's anytime that you have more people involved than just yourself, it's always going to take longer and be more expensive. I don't know the last time that something in my life has been easier or cheaper than I thought it was going to be. Probably not in the last 10 years.
I will say that I'm actually becoming, and it would be interesting to go back through this podcast to see how I have progressed as a homeowner. Because I used to be somewhat timid about putting holes in my wall.
Mm-hmm.
Now I love it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? It's exciting. It makes you feel it's gratifying.
Okay, if it's just you and you're eating hot dogs, how many hot dogs are you going to have for dinner?
This is the debate of all time. Are we going buns or no bun?
Well, yeah, you're going buns.
Well, if I'm going buns, I'm only doing 2. But I could do a dozen for sure.
Oh, I'm not eating less than 3 hot dogs if I'm having hot dogs for dinner. I'd be embarrassed to leave the room with 2 hot dogs.
I'm the kind of fat guy that, like, if I do have more than 2, I double up per bun.
Oh, God. You're putting 2...
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Wow. What's the most hot dogs you've ever eaten?
Oh, I mean, I don't know, to be honest. It was at some party, I'm sure. No, actually, I do kind of have a rough estimate.
All right,
My bachelor party, I wouldn't eat buns because I said I had a wedding or something. I'm sure the guys who were there are laughing right now.
A wedding to get rid of. I remember.
I got a wedding, bro. But I'm guessing, and I don't know the number, but I probably slammed over the course of a few hours between 15 and 20.
Man, you sucked down 15 pieces of meat, huh?
At least. And it knocked me on my ass. There's a picture of me laying on my back, just surrounded by meat.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot. Okay, all right. Well, let's just move on. I don't think I've ever had more than 4. That's a lot.
I mean, but I used to be a competitive eater in my own mind, so I've done a lot of stupid shit.
There's a lot of things that I do in my own mind that not in reality.
All right, let's see. Shoutouts, oats. Jeremy Strong, Hilaria Gustavo Lopez. I only put that on there because that was a handful to say, but it felt good to say it out loud.
It's most likely Hilaria.
Oh, well.
Get some culture, man.
Lucas Conan, Amelia Youngblood, Brian Anderson, Mark Chavez. I found this on YouTube, but someone apparently his name is Cameron Diaz. I don't think it's the Cameron Diaz, but
most likely not. Although she's making a comeback.
If it is, God bless you, Cameron Diaz, or whatever Cameron Diaz. All right, Paul Minkovitz, Nick Bryant, and John Chase. Appreciate all of you this week.
Nice. I like how you struggled with the easy words.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make sure I got them right because
Sean.
Sean. Let's see. Well, I feel like I have to put this out there and admit to you finally that I am not a jinx because yesterday was a Chiefs and Bills game, and I put as much money as I possibly could afford down on the Chiefs to win, and they won.
Yeah, but you jinxed me texting me stuff about how the Bills were going to come back. So you did jinx it, and you are a jinx.
I'm not a jinx.
You are, dude. You need to just accept the reality that's in front of you. You're a jinxer. You're a notorious jinxer. As soon as you said that, I knew that they were lost. I knew that they were going to lose as soon as you said, oh, the Bills are going to come back. That's when I thought, nope.
Well, besides Kansas City and Philadelphia, I know everyone in Metro Detroit's could care less about this game. I just feel like it's the blandest matchup there is.
Oh, I have no interest in it whatsoever. And I don't think I'll even watch the highlights on YouTube like I usually do. I don't really have any interest in it. It's just like, I'm sick of them.
I mean, I'll watch it because I gamble, but other than that, I'm not watching it because I want to watch it, I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right. So far, the poll results are, do you look different in your mind than you do in real life? 100% of people have said yes.
I would be surprised if it doesn't end up, 90-10.
Oh, yeah, I would think it's really stacked one direction.
I think it's unanimous. All right. I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
Last week, Pamela Anderson. Apparently, people, for some reason, this was trending, and I don't know why, but she's never been nominated for an Oscar. Imagine that. So she was quoted as saying, I always say the win is in the work. I think she did a lot of winning in her day.
Yeah. she's kept it going. I mean, for someone that was really just attractive, essentially. Like, was she a great personality? Was she a good actress? Was she a good singer? Did she have other talents, really, than just kind of being attractive? She did really well with that.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably just move on.
We should move on, yeah. Way to set that one up. Okay.
Because I'm not really sure that she was technically an actress unless you consider the types of things she did.
But she wasn't in that. She wasn't in mainstream stuff, right?
Not until the video was released of her and Tommy Lee. I don't believe. I could be wrong.
I feel like that doesn't count. I also don't feel like that's really in any way true that those videos just leak somehow. Like someone just happened to get access to my sex tape. I don't believe that whatsoever.
I mean, I'm sorry. Someone actually apparently is listening to our live stream because they just texted me and said, "You idiots, she was in Baywatch."
Okay.
Was she, like, my bad.
Did she get an Academy Award for Baywatch? Like, you're kind of proving our point by that, to be honest with you. Like, was David Hasselhoff. I don't remember David Hasselhoff as being a great actor.
I didn't realize she did Borat. She did a couple other movies. The one that she's really known for is called Barbed Wire.
Yeah, when you're really known for something nobody else has heard of, you're not proving your case there. Also, it's Borat, not Borat.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I never have found him or his characters funny at all.
I don't generally find any kind of prank humor to be funny.
Anyways, I'm going to finish up the Pamela Anderson link because I feel like she deserves a quick 15-second shout-out. In 2022, her career resurged as she was on Broadway. And also, it looks like she earned a nomination for a Golden Globe and a SAG Award for Best Actress for her indie drama, The Last Showgirl, that came out last year. So, God bless you. Let's see. Do we want to talk Donald Trump?
Not really.
All I'm going to say is, if I have to start paying $12 for a venti coffee at Starbucks, I'm going to go to the White House and stand outside with a sign, all right? That's insane. But also, first world problems, I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everything... I don't know, man. We'll just see how this whole thing goes. Right? We're just going to see how this whole thing goes. Because I do think that regardless of whoever is in charge, you ultimately can't make that big of changes. Like, there is kind of a reason why things are the way that they are. As somebody who used to work in news and somebody who used to work in government, you kind of find out that all these policies that you think are really dumb or that you think make no sense do end up making sense when you kind of think about it from the perspective of all kinds of different people. Like, we do ultimately kind of get down to a reason why we do things. And maybe it doesn't make any sense, but then you just need to consider it from a different perspective, and then it might make sense from there. Like, man, what a waste of money putting ramps on all these curbs is. Well, yeah, but you're not in a wheelchair, and then all of a sudden that really makes sense. So, like, I think that when you look at different policies that are governmental in origin, they do kind of make sense. You're just not thinking of it from that aspect. You're thinking of it from you, not from the aspect of an entire group of people.
Well, I mean, I think we're a individually based problem society. If it doesn't affect us, why care about it, right?
Oh, yeah. Like people are very aware of their own problems. I would agree with that. And you're not aware of other people's issues. But, I mean, that's why I think that when somebody comes in proposing sweeping changes, there's never really going to be sweeping changes. Because, like, ultimately, there's a reason that we didn't do that in the first place.
All right. I have nothing else to say. You said that very well. You always put on, like, your Mr. PR hat. I have no idea how to respond. So, chopsticks. Apparently, there's a push to eliminate chopsticks in this country.
Why? Because they come from people that don't look like they just eat food with their hands?
No, apparently because they are made from certain kinds of woods and bamboo, and this organization wants to save all those plants. So they say that we should not be using chopsticks.
I mean, if we're not going to be using chopsticks because we want to cut down on waste, then I'm okay with that. If we're not going to be using chopsticks because we need to, get this back to the Gulf of America and freedom fries, that's a whole different kind of thing, right? Like,
I'm sorry.
That's ridiculous. It's a bad idea.
You just said it. I mean, that is the one thing so far with this administration. Out of the hundreds, if not thousands of issues, but let's make sure that we rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America.
But that's why I think that those things can sometimes resonate so much with people, is because the big things really kind of stay the way that they are because they're too big to really manipulate, or they're too big to really have quick changes for. But you can do the kind of slap some lipstick on the pig, and then people can say, like, yeah, well, look with this.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess that is kind of all politics, but
yeah, that's all politics. Everybody does it. Okay, can we stop talking?
Let's see. Do you want to talk for a brief second about your near pooping catastrophe from the weekend?
Yeah, I'll talk about this. I'm not ashamed of it. So I've been going snowboarding with my two sons, and I'm trying to keep up with them, and they like to do the terrain park. And something that I did not realize is that if you land on your butt or that butt area hard enough, you will poop yourself. And so there's been 2 times when I was snowboarding where I've crashed really hard and thought that I was going to poop my pants. I didn't. I haven't pooped my pants yet, but I have come incredibly close. So if you ever decide that you're going to go snowboarding or do something like that, you need to be aware that you need to kind of maybe clear the system, so to speak, before you go, because if you crash hard, you will poop yourself. It's like a natural reaction.
You do not have to worry about me going snowboarding or skiing. So
I did the jumps.
That's all I have to say about that.
I didn't do it very well, but I did it.
The jumps, huh? That's pretty interesting.
I did. I actually got some air. I cleared one of them. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about.
All right. Well, that's all I got. We should go talk game shows now.
Okay. So our top 5 is something that John has been wanting to talk about for basically ever since he was born. He constantly brings up Pat Sajak. He constantly brings up game shows. I have no idea what his obsession with game shows is, or why he seems to have a poster of Pat Sajak and at one time had a cardboard cutout of him. So our top 5 is top 5 game shows of all time. It's your number 5.
Just for the record, Nick made some of that up. I was always a Alex Trebek guy, not necessarily a Pat Sajak person.
The fact that you even have to kind of make that stipulation and make that disclaimer shows that you're way too into game shows. Nobody else would ever even have to say that they're an Alex Trebek person. Everybody knows that you're an Alex Trebek person, right? That's like saying, I like cheeseburgers. Everybody knows it.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're both... I mean, obviously one is deceased now, but I feel like they are both on the same level.
No, they're not.
Popularity.
That's a ridiculous statement. No, not at all. Not in any way. Never have been. Not at all. That's like saying 2 + 2 is 27.
Fine. I'm going way back here with, not way back. I'm going to the 90s with my number 5, a homer pick, but Legends of the Hidden Temple.
But does that really... Okay. I agree. Legends of the Hidden Temple is a great... Probably the second best kids game show.
I don't really have any others on there, so
I do.
Will. All right, well, then I won't say the other one I'm thinking of. If you don't say it, I'll say it at the end.
Okay.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That was, I think you could make an argument, the biggest game show of an era. Because that was the only game show that they took and put on, prime time. That was on primetime television, not that kind of 6 to 7 hour.
I mean, I actually have it a little further up on my list, so
okay, all right,
I'm gonna
okay.
I'm gonna come back to it. I have nothing but fantastic things to say about it. So my number 4, The Price is Right.
Okay. I would have gone personally a little bit higher with Price is Right, but I agree it should be on the top 5.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. This makes no sense, what I'm about to say, and I can't convey it in a way that makes sense. It's like too fabricated to me. It seems too stagey. I've never really liked Drew Carey. Just I don't know. Just seems all meh to me.
He's somebody that you forgot was famous. Like, oh yeah, he was famous. Like, oh yeah, Drew Carey's still around doing something.
See, I really, to me, he is just that guy's, he's still here. Like, I thought he fell off the map years ago, but.
Well, he's just been hosting Price is Right for like the last 20 years, I think. My number 4 is Double Dash.
Okay, all right. Not a big Double Dash fan. I think I've maybe seen it in 1 or 2 episodes.
I think that Double Dash is the best kids game show. Better than Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Okay, so my the other kid show that I really liked was with the Aggro Crag on Nickelodeon. I can't remember. Guts. Do you have it? Guts.
Oh. Okay, I remember it in theory, but not. I can't picture anything about it. Like, I remember that it existed and I've heard the name before, but I can't think of a single thing about it. It's your number 3.
My number 3 is probably my favorite show on my list, but it doesn't deserve a top 2. But my number 3 is Fear Factor.
Oh, I wouldn't consider that that to me is more of a reality show, but maybe splitting hairs a little bit. Because then you could say like American Idol is a game show, The Bachelor is a game show.
I mean, I think it's hard to argue that that they aren't really one within the same. I mean, you're still trying to win something at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess
like
American Idol is more reality to me than Fear Factor. Kind of crosses the line a little bit.
Like Big Brother to me is reality TV. The Osbournes is reality TV.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, I don't feel like you're 100% right, but you're closer to being right than I am.
Well, I think that's the only one. I think that's the only one that kind of treads the line for me.
My number 3. My number 3 is The Price is Right.
Okay, I mean, I had it 4. It's probably where it should be, right around there, 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Okay, it's your number 2.
So my number 2 is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh, okay, that's pretty high for I'll agree that it's a big show. But
I had 2 written down at number 2, and I was like, I can only put one of these on the list because they're kind of the same show. So, but not really. It was either that or Deal or No Deal. But Howie Mandel ruins it for me, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is like a question and answer game, and I love that. So
okay. My number 2 is Family Feud. Surprised that you don't have Family Feud on the list.
Yeah, I don't have that, and I don't have what's the one that Steve Harvey hosts now?
Family Feud.
Okay. So that's the one. That's the one where they give you a category or a question. You have to like guess the answers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it really ever.
Obviously. What's the one that Steve Harvey's on? Family Feud.
Yeah, well, I mean, that should tell you right there, I guess.
Okay, well, number 1 is obvious, correct?
It has to be, right?
Go for it.
Wheel of Fortune.
Did you really put Wheel of Fortune as number 1?
No, I got Jeopardy as my number 1.
Yeah, Jeopardy's number 1. Jeopardy is the best game show of all time.
It is. And I think it proves that for a couple of reasons. Was it a couple of years before the pandemic when that James guy from Las Vegas took the whole show by storm, and it was like the number 1 show again across any network? Do you remember that? No.
The only thing I know is the guy who hosts it now. When I saw when he went on a big run.
Yeah, Ken Jennings. He's actually the reason why I wouldn't want to continue watching it.
Oh,
but
I think this is the appropriate time for that.
I still watch it. So
okay. Yeah, my number 1 is Jeopardy. Okay, but which of the game shows that you put in your top 5, which one do you think that you would do the best at?
Legends of the Hidden Temple, because I'd be racing against a bunch of fucking kids. No,
okay, considering that you're still the same age.
Oof. I mean, Jeopardy, I try to keep up with Jeopardy. There's no way I'd be good at that. Fear Factor, I feel like you have to kind of be an athlete, so I'm not doing that, even though I'm not afraid of things. I guess The Price is Right, because you don't have to do much.
I think I would do the best at Family Feud. I would say that, let's say, I don't know how many questions are in a Jeopardy round. If there's 20, I can maybe get 5 to 10 right. 10 being a really good day. And it's got to be the easier ones. I can maybe get 5 to 10.
I kick ass when any sports question comes up usually. But when they start going on everything else is when I'm like, ooh, I'm going to sit this one out.
Yeah, I think I would do the best at Family Feud only by guessing what other people would say. What's in your honorable mention?
I mean, there's... let's see. So, whose line is it anyway?
That's
Love
not
that
a game show.
Sure it is. They bring people on and they run skits and like play games.
There's
How
no
is that
prizes.
That's fair. That's fair. But
That's
I still
not a game
think
show, bro.
what does it fall under then?
Improv comedy. It's an improv comedy. I don't think anybody would say it's a game show. Is it hosted by Steve Harvey?
Maybe. Deal or No Deal, like I said. I do have Wheel of Fortune on the list. That's kind of it. Cash Cab back in the day.
Oh, I don't know that. I never liked any of those, like sitting in the car. It always made me feel slightly nauseous. It's like, couldn't you just do this in a place where nobody's moving around? So, yeah, it was too much for me.